Bébé, Yamon.
Hi guys, welcome to my strawberry patch. Here I have 450 strawberry plants growing, and it's been productive since I started. It's amazing. Beautiful big red strawberries. I'm going to show you my full pot when I'm finished. And they are delicious. Money cannot buy these guys, I tell you. They are amazingly sweet. But I think I've planted them too close. Some of them are going off. So I'll give those to the birds. We have to share. No good. No good. So we have to share. Yes, so I am gardening. My gardening space is, the width is 20 meters wide and 100-meter long. So this is my gardening space. Here I have a patch of flowers, different varieties for pollinators. I don't have any insect problem, like, you know, insects that are damaging my plants. I don't use pesticide or insecticide, so I use flowers instead for pollinators to balance everything. So I've got lots of dahlias, black-eyed Susan, bluet, borage, and borage is an edible plant as well. And I didn't even know that the dahlias, they have a tuber like a yam root that are edible, but I'm not going to eat them because they're so pretty in the flowers, so I won't eat it. There's a smoke coming from. So I was telling you guys about some medicinal stuff that grow very wild here in the garden. Here is a bunch of them, for example, on the ground here. Like, this is the dandelion. It's a dandelion that's different to Jamaica, but this is the dandelion in Europe. This is the flower head. It's all edible. These are edible, and bees love them for the pollen, and we feed them to our rabbits as well. And this is the leaves. These are the leaves. So in France they call them pissenlit. English it's dandelion. And here we have, this will bite me, Jamaica will call this courage. Here in England it is called ortie. No, it's French, is ortie. And stinging nettle in English. It's very, very medicinal. If I have to survive and live on 2 plants, these will be it, because you can cook them and eat them, and all parts of it are edible. Even the dandelion, this one, the root, if you pull the root out, you can use it as it tastes just like coffee. When you dry it and grind it up into powder, it tastes exactly like coffee. So lots of beautiful flowers. This one is another, it's a perennial black-eyed Susan, but this one, the eye of it is not that black, so they call it Rudbeckia or Rudbeckia. The spelling make it sound like Rudbeckia, but It's Rudbeckia. Over here we have Cosmos. This is it's not perennial. This is a perennial, meaning it come back every year, and it's a tuber as well. The root of it look like cocoa. This one. And there's more. So this little section here, and also some years ago when I was in Nice, I was eating grapes. The grapes were so delicious, and I thought, you know what do I have to lose? I'm gonna try and grow, see if I can plant them in a pot and see, and voila, let me show you my grape. Come along. So it's not much to show, but I started this from seed, and it's great. It's a grape. So far I haven't had any fruit yet. I think it's too cold up here, but I'm happy with the foliage, and it's edible. Grape leaves are edible. You can cook it, put it in soups, or cook it like callaloo with some saltfish or salt mackerel. I have 2 of them either side on this trellis thing, and of course there is my patch of strawberries. So we're going to turn around now and go back and show you my tomatoes and what I have growing. So this is my grow space. It's not really a greenhouse, it's just a covering to take the edge of the nighttime temperature of these plants. So in this bed, right in this little square section right here, I have sweet potatoes growing. I've got 4, but 1 died. And these are a purple, really rich purple colored sweet potatoes. And also I have a friend, a French girl. She's from Madagascar, and she was telling me that, I mean, us Jamaicans, I don't know about all Jamaicans, but in my community we don't eat the leaves, but apparently the leaves are very good, eaten like callaloo or spinach. So I'm going to try it and see how it tastes, but she said it's like their staple in Madagascar, so I'm going to try it. This is a it's called sisho. I think the pronunciation is, it looked like callaloo. It's a Chinese along that, what do you call it, Asian, it's in Asian cooking, this one. There's another variety which is a more purpley color, and of course I have marigold in here as well as a companion planting, but the flowers are pretty, you know, it's the deter insect. So these are the callaloo seed Mama sent me. This is my callaloo patch, so I'm letting these go to seed now so I can collect the seed, so I have it always. And look, this is one variety of my tomatoes. I've collected a lot off of here already, ripe ones, so I cut the tops and stopped watering them for these to ripe up because the weather is going cold and I don't want too much green tomatoes on my hand. So if you come in, over here I have some Scotch bonnet pepper, but so far nothing. I've got a little sweet pepper here coming along here. It's not going to be ripe in time, but I'll eat it green. And these are kale, so these I will cut up and freeze, put in freezer bags and freeze them. have them for a rainy day. There's two variety I have here. They call curly kale. This is the green one, and this is like a red variety. And apparently, when vegetables have colors, the health benefit of them are higher. Apparently, that's what the experts are saying. So if you look, I've got tomatoes that are collapsing. That one's completely fallen over to the other side. And of course I've got some what's it called again? Basil. This is some basil I have in here. All these names to remember. Basil. And of course this is a plant. It come back every year because it drops its seed. It is borage and it's edible. The petals, and the bees absolutely love it. So I tell you, if you want bees or butterflies or other insect good pollinating your garden, add flowers, lots of flowers, tomatoes, peppers, more basil. Bend down. This is the melon. Mama sent me melon seeds as well, and this is one of the melon plant, but unfortunately I got it too late and it's not going to look. I've got baby melon. I've got baby melon. Oh look, poor little baby. But it's not going to mature in time before the winter, unfortunately. I have more seeds, so I'll try again next year. And of course, you have to bend down. Go under. Go the other side. So this year I grow 3 different varieties of tomatoes for slicing and cooking. I have this round one. It's delicious. It's very sweet, but I use it in cooking. This is the big one. This is a slicer, but it's so abundant this year that I used it in I just made some tomato paste and other stuff, and I freeze. And I have a long one. It's like an Italian San Marzano tomato that's meant to be very good. This is, where is it? It's here somewhere. It's along here. Yeah. And over here, in here, I've put some onions. So if you look, so this is, I harvested some onions already. This is another variety. This is a white onion. They're bulbing up now. So you see the bulb of them coming up here. And these leaves here are cauliflower and broccoli I have in here. I haven't started seeing anything yet. Let's have a peek. Yeah, look inside. Look, they start forming. This is a baby one coming up. It's a broccoli. Hopefully I will get some food before. And here, growing up along here is a butternut squash. It's like they call it butternut squash. It's a pumpkin. So here, that's one of them right in there. And there's another one over here, hidden under here. And of course pepper. I've got fresh thyme growing in here. And here we have 2 cherry tomatoes. So these are for my absolute pleasure. Growing cherry tomatoes in the garden. I just come out and eat. I love them. These guys are like sweeties. Bun bun. Delicious. Nature's candy. So here is my, I call it my plantation. Not in the same context as us Jamaicans will call a plantation, you know. So here is a secure section of the garden to keep out the cats. There's a lot of neighbor cats around the place and dogs, and they like to go and shit on your place. And the deer, of course, we have plenty of wild animals, deer and wild pigs. So it's to keep them from going in here and destroying this crop. So here, as we enter, we have raspberries. I keep pulling this raspberry out and it keeps taking over. Here we have more of the kale. This is a different variety of kale. So all these kales are in the cabbage family. You use them just like you would use cabbages. This is chamomile, medicinal chamomile. It's very good. And here we have celeriac. In English, this is called celeriac. And what we eat from this is the root. It's absolutely delicious. You sort of do it like a coleslaw. You eat it raw. You just grate it and add mayonnaise. It's very good. So it's the root. It's the root we eat. So there it's coming along nicely. And I found that this germinated from seed for me amazingly quick and very tough. In this little section here, I have a lot of borage self-seed, but I also have beetroot in here. Let me show you the size of these guys. They are huge. Let me find a nice big one. Yeah, it's a nice big one right here. So I'll pull this up. So this is beetroot. This one is going to seed, and I will let it so I can collect the seed for another time planting. And all the leaves are edible on here. This big thing right here, I will harvest. It's the root I need. It's what you called the original is marshmallow, but this is a natural marshmallow, and it's the root we harvest and use, and it's very medicinal. So these are the corn from Jamaica that Mama sent me. I planted a few here and they're coming along nicely, but we had a lot of wind. Look, this one's developing nicely. Maybe this one, I just planted a small patch. It's still green. It's not gonna be ready in time. So I've got more onions in here, my sunflowers. I've got salad, some salad here, more onion, and here I've got carrots. These are my carrots growing. Have a look at carrots. So this is for me, for us and the rabbits. Carrots. Carrots. So these are to go down for me and the rabbits. Us and the rabbits. Yep. And of course, all Jamaican know what this is. This is amaranth. Yep. And more dahlia flowers. Look at the bees. Look at them. Look at the pollen on this little one's leg. Whew. Look at that. The happy guy. Yep. So here I have flowers in this section at the back. I've got mint. You name it. in this section over here, I planted potatoes. Attention to the plastic, don't slip. So, and I've got pumpkins growing down there. This section over here is where I planted my potatoes. Potatoes grow amazingly well for me here. This here that's growing, when they're flowers, they look like sunflowers, but it's the root you eat. It's not a sunflower. It's called Jerusalem artichoke. They're delicious and it's very good for your gut bacteria. This guy here is very good. Look at this. These are some potatoes that I did not even manage to put in the ground. I left them in a box. And look at the leaves. This is what I'm telling you about what potatoes do for me here. Look at this. It's crazy. Look at that. Look at all of that. Potatoes that I didn't plant. I just have them here because I run out of space. Here we have cabbages, and I've got pak choi growing here too. So the pak choi I'm sort of using this year to sort of shade them a little because they don't like the heat too much. And this year that I'm lifting up is a chia seed. If you heard of chia seed, it's very good as well to eat. But I never seem to get seed, but I let it grow and I chop the leaves up and put it in the bed. And look at my peppers, guys. Look at my chilies. Look at these. I find that chili grow better for me than the Scotch bonnet. Look at these green chili. Look at them. I need to come and collect them. Chilies. I've got a lot of chilies loaded. Look. I need to come and collect them before it gets too cold. So I'll dry them and powder them. I showed you a plant over there called seashell. This is the other one. Look at the leaf of this guy. Look at it. Look at the plant. Oh. And it's eaten just like callaloo as well. Very nutritious. Yeah. And along here I have more. I've got more beetroot. This is more beetroot I have here. And pumpkin, little pumpkins are like a one-man pumpkin. They are delicious, rich. I mean, if you want your soup red, not red, but I mean orange, rich soup, these pumpkins will do it. And I've collected some already, and these are pumpkin. This is a green one, green skin one over there. So pan around this section, show off my garden. Oh, and over here I've got more carrots growing. So these are all carrots growing here, and the leaves of the carrot, between me and the rabbits, I dry the leaves and eat the leaves. The leaves are more nutritious than the carrot itself. Imagine. Along the fence line here, this is raspberries I have growing here, and I have to keep pulling up because they just send out runners underneath the ground and they invade. It's a shame they don't grow in Jamaica, so I'll send you guys some. They need the cold climate. I need to come back. So after my little secure sections from the animals here, this is where we live. This is the chalet we live in, and here we have some bee box, but the bees have decided that they weren't happy so they left. This is a little patio section that we sit and eat sometimes, or to just chill out. And at the back of it, we have a little flower section. Against the wall up there, that's where I planted all of my garlic. I had abundance of garlic. Garlic grew very, very well for me here. So, yep. These are the pumpkins that I showed you guys the other day that I've harvested. This is where they grow. All the foliage, the leaves and stuff are dying back now. And of course, with everything, I planted flowers among stuff. So here is one pumpkin I haven't collected yet. It's right here. Ouch. It's spiky. There's one I haven't collected yet from this section. Flowers. In this little arch section right here, I planted some blueberries. The first time I planted them this year, I still have blueberries. And all on the ground that's covered there are not weed, they're wild strawberries. They call them alpine strawberries. They're much smaller and they are sweet. If you ever tasted a sour sweetie, that's like amazing with flavor, alpine strawberries. And here we have mûr, they call it here. I can't remember the English name. Blackberries, yeah, blackberries in English. And I mean, when they're ripe, they're really black. So this is it, blackberry. There it is. But this one is not ripe fully. And I have some volunteer tomatoes. 2 volunteered tomatoes that decided to grow by themselves without my help along here. I've got another pumpkin I found growing in here. It's tucked himself right over there. Pumpkin. That's a pumpkin. I love pumpkin. I've got this all over the garden. It's called tansy, and it's a great pollinator as well. The bees and beneficial insect love this guy here. And apparently if you plant it amongst potatoes, like Irish potatoes, it helps deter insect that go into the ground to eat the potatoes. So I have it everywhere because the bees love it, and it's a beautiful yellow flowers, and the leaves are fern-like leaves, look like fern. And apparently when you use this to make tea, it's good for intestinal parasite, intestinal worms. This is meant to be very good for that. This is another one that grow wild up here in the mountain. It's called what's it called? Artemisia. Yeah. And Artemisia is illegal in the UK. Nobody's allowed to. I don't know if the rules have changed, but they're not allowed because they can make a very alcohol. They use it to make an alcohol that make people a bit druggy. Yeah, make people absent in their mind. That's why it's called absent. It's got a nice smell, very good. So when COVID was around, all the French people were like, oh, looking for this plant because that's how good it is to make tea and to help them with their COVID symptoms. So I also have a small amount of trees. Oh my look, oh poor thing is giving flowers. That's an apple tree right here. I think this guy here is not in sync with us. You think it's spring. Winter is coming, and it looked like this because the deer, they come and eat the leaves. I've got so here I've got apple, I've got pear, I've got 2 apples and 2 pears, and plum also I have. This here is another tunnel I have for tomatoes. Let me show you inside. Yep, so this is another tomato and pepper. So my trees, they're so full of tomatoes that things are collapsing, falling over. And of course my sweet peppers are coming. There's only 1 on here, but you know what? I'm happy even if it's 1. Here I have 2 on this one. So yeah, tomatoes. This guy's completely fallen over. Well, I stopped watering them for them to ripen. As I said, the weather is getting cold here. This is the other variety of the tomato that look is the San Marzano. It's the shape of it. This one is the big beef steak one. It's all growing on. It's on the floor now. And that one is the round one I mainly use for cooking. My peppers. My peppers. Something's eating my peppers. But yeah, I'm very happy this year with the abundance of things. So what I'll do, I will make lots of tomato sauce for cooking, put them in individual plastic, freeze them, and just take them out as I need. I've also shared with the neighbors. I've shared tomatoes and whatever else I have, potatoes and things, with the neighbors, onions as well, because it's good to share. Oh, this is falling down. Go back. So yes guys, this is my garden space, and unfortunately it's coming to the end of the season where things are wrapping up. So next year, by the grace of God, I'll have more to show you guys. Take care. So guys, this is what I'm trying to show you. So far I've collected all of these. Some of them are not fully ripe, but because I haven't been watering them and we had an all-day rain yesterday, they start splitting, but they're very delicious. But because they're planted so close, they rot. The air circulation is not going through them properly, and I'm getting a lot of rot. So for next year I'm gonna have to thin them out and make my beds longer, or I don't know if I mentioned that we're planning on moving to another property, so I can start afresh and do things differently, and with that I will have more plants as well. So this is what I've collected today, and since I planted the strawberries in May, I've collected 50 pounds of strawberries already. So I'm going to go down now and weigh these, and we're going to make strawberry jam from this batch.